took me 15 minutes. I did the whole exam in 15 minutes. Got like got an A. Doesn't say the score, but it looked like a 95%, something around there. Easy. Network Plus. We in it, baby. We in it. Ooh, baby, we in it. We in it. This one's supposed to be 2 months, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. So this one, bam, done, easy peasy. Easy peasy. What we can do is this, go back. And we're starting a new one, baby. Right here. What is it? D325. D325. Networks. It's just called networks. Easy peasy. Oops. Networks. There we go. Course outline template. Enter. Close. Networks. Oh, the exam was so easy. Literally took me 15 minutes. So easy. Unreal. Honestly, I could have just not done the class and just taken the exam right away, and I probably would have passed. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So learning. Welcome to Networks. In this course, you'll learn about networking components and network infrastructure. The course will prepare you to demonstrate achievement of 5 competencies. The course has many you'll demonstrate competency by passing CompTIA's Network Plus certification exam. How about this? Okay, this one. Networks introduces skills in configuring network components. With the network infrastructure, learners will gain skills in optimizing network operations for availability, performance, and security, and in troubleshooting network issues. Course prepares learners for the CompTIA Network Plus certification exam. Network and security foundations is a prerequisite for this course. So put that into the about. The objectives will be the competencies. Configures networking components. Configures network infrastructure. Optimizes network operations. Troubleshoots network issues. Implements network security. Probably got an email for this class or something. Let's see what I got in here. Welcomes you to 325 Networks. This course focuses on skills. Okay, the same thing. Your instructor, John Holm, is looking forward to working with you. Take a moment to introduce yourself. Nope. You can email John. Nah. Get started in D325 right away. Okay. Go through the course of study in its entirety. Mark each section complete as you progress. Complete Cert Master in its entirety. Ensure that all lessons, practice exams, PBQs. Oh yeah, I forgot these ones have PBQs and all these things. Spend at least 6 to 8 weeks studying. Dang, son. Pass Cert Master final assessment 90% or higher. Check out the... okay, so this is not really anything. So archive that. What is this one? Exam archive. Temporary login, archive. What is this? This guy checking in with me. Nope, archive. Goodbye. Okay, I guess nothing there. Course outline. I guess we can plan this out now. Alright, let's check it out. So welcome to networks. Competencies. Okay, we just read that. Next. Let's open this up a little bit. learning resources. Course employs learning resources from CompTIA that contain all the necessary reading materials and videos needed to prepare you for the course assessment. Be sure to engage in all the course material to seek a score of 90% or better on all practice sets, assessments, and labs before continuing to the next module. Access your learning resources through the links in the courses below. The course uses two platforms, CertMaster Perform for Network Plus and CertMaster Practice for Network Plus. It is important to note that while all the performance questions and labs are integrated within the main learning resource from CompTIA, offer valuable contextualization and practice, they do not directly mirror the format of those encountered on the certification exam. The exam will primarily utilize drag and drop matching or answering request resequencing mechanics. Network Sandbox Lab. CertMaster Perform for Network Plus includes access to an open environment or sandbox where you can experiment with various networks, devices, and computers. This is a secure site. Easy, easy, easy. So easy. I did 15 minutes, bro. The exam took me 15 minutes. Network Sandbox Lab, this thing? Wait, what? This is a secure site for you to practice implementing ideas throughout the course. Okay, so let me add that to the resources. Network Sandbox Lab. Command C. Is that what it is? Is that gonna work? If I click this? Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, next. Oh, it's not even... I shall copy these things, no? Next, okay, checked. Introduction done. Hardware and topologies. Explain network topologies. Is that it? Let me get my water here. Alright, let me put it into outline here. How do I break these up into each module? Yeah, in each module probably. How did I do it for, what is it called? Let me just IT something, which one? IT Foundations? One of them, whatever. Okay, I did it like this, and then I did the subsections as each page. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. What about the other one? What did I do for the other one? Same thing. Okay. I'll do that then. So this one will be... I could always change it later. Explaining network topologies. Module 2, supporting cabling and physical installations. Configuring interfaces and switches. Network services and configuration. Managing networks. Secure networks. Remote access and cloud technologies. Configuring network addressing, configuring, routing and advanced switching, implementing network services. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just 3 for those. For this, managing networks, explaining application services, supporting network management, explaining network security concepts. Dang, this one's gonna be longer for sure. Applying network security features, supporting network security design, and configuring wireless networks. Okay, and then this one. Comparing remote access methods, summarizing cloud concepts. That's it, that's everything. Let's go to class home, go to, where is it, course search, I think? They add like resources and things here. What do we got? Course syllabus. Oh, it's just a straight up download. You can't view it. Oh no, you can view it. Alright, let's see. What is this? Course syllabus, prerequisites, description, learning objectives, learning resources, student page. Oh wait, what I can do is nope. What is it? What is it? This Finder. I can go into OneDrive, create a new folder. D325 networks. Bam. Let's get in there. Okay, course schedule. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8 is the practice exam and exam. Okay, I can download this. What other stuff they got here? Exam objectives. Yeah, this is good to have. And then, oh, a 6-week pacing guide. Ooh, I'm gonna try to stick with this actually. Let's look at this. Oh, let's do that. Download. Save. Okay, those are the only things that they have there. So what we're going to do, pacing. Oh, whoa, they got like they've got like minutes on this and everything. How long it takes. Should I just turn this into an actual checklist? Like I did with last class? Like this thing? Although I didn't follow this. This was more like week 1. This was... I tried to do it faster. It did not work out. Week 2. This was week 3. This was week 4. Unfortunately. Because I won't be able to like cross anything out here. Maybe I should do this. What happens if I... Nah, it's not gonna work. Uh-oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. I don't even know what I clicked. Nah, I want to do like this. Do like that, do like that, like that, like that, like that. That's what I want. Oh, we're gonna hit the 6-weeker, baby. We have to. I don't even have a choice. I do not have a choice in the matter. And I really don't want to copy this down, but I think this is going to be much better than this PDF that I'm looking at. Oh, this sucks. We're gonna see how fast. Oops. We're gonna see how fast I can do this. Module quiz. 2.1. Ethernet. 2.2. Copper cables and connectors. Bro, there's gotta be a faster way to do this. Oops. Wait, what am I doing? Paste. Up. There we go. What is even that? Oh, that's the time. Okay. So just do that. Just do that. Yeah, this is much better. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. That. 1,000 minutes total. What is that? 1,000 divided by 6. What is this? Arrow data box. Signed by Raycast Technologies. Fine, allow it. I'll allow it for 1 minute only. 1000 divided by 60. That's in minutes? So what are they doing here? 990, 1100, 1030, 1005. That's like, yeah, about average of 1000-ish. So what if I do like 1100 divided by 60 is 18. That's only 18 hours a week? Oh, I can do this faster than that. I can do it faster than that. Psych, actually it's gonna take me longer than this because I'm taking notes, so this is gonna take me longer. I think. I'll try to stick with this 6-week pacing guide. Fine, allow it. Make 2. Oops. There we go. There was a context menu that just popped up. I don't even know what that was. Whatever. It doesn't even make sense. What? Am I missing something from 5.8? 3.3, 3.4. Okay, 5.8 to 6.1 is missing something. Oh, they don't know how to count. Oh, that's a problem. 5.8 and then 6. Oh no, it's supposed to be like that. I'm retarded. Never mind, I'm retarded. I'm unbelievably retarded. I should just drop out right now. There we go. Got rid of that emoji with NVIM. I'm being quick with it. NeoVim style. NeoVim is for insane people, but it's also the best thing ever. Nice, we all set up, baby. I wanted to look up something because I wanted to see if this thing, my terminal that I started using, something to do with like the security. What is it called? Overview, configuration, option reference. Okay, here. Something to do with the password thing. What's the okay. It's not gonna come up. Garbage thing. Passing score 720. Easy. 720. Oops. 720 divided by 900. 80%. You need an 80%. I don't know what a mark is. Is that 3 points? I don't know what that mark is. 720 out of 900. I can do that. Hopefully. I hope. What was I looking for again? Oh yeah, something to do with security I'm looking for. There's supposed to be integration potentially with the biometric authentication. Auto secure input, what is this? Is this it? If true, Ghosty on macOS will automatically enable secure input feature when it detects that a password prompt is being displayed. Secure input is a macOS security feature that prevents applications from reading keyboard events. This can always be enabled manually using Ghosty Secure Keyboard Entry menu item. Note that automatic password prompt detection is based on heuristics and may not always work as expected. Specifically, it does not work over SSH connection, but there may be other cases where it also doesn't work. A reason to disable this feature is that if you find that it is interfering with legitimate accessibility software, or software that uses the accessibility APIs. Since secure input prevention any application from reading keyboard events. If true, Ghosty will show a graphical indication when secure input is enabled. Indication is generally recommended to know when secure input is enabled. Oh, is that the lock thing? macOS icon. Customize the macOS app icon. Oh no, this is something. Okay, so I think that's actually what it was. So it doesn't have the other thing. Yeah, it doesn't have that. Okay. Whatever. I'm probably gonna be not streaming much today because I'm gonna be going to a birthday party later. I wasn't even gonna stream today at all, but I decided to at least, since I have like an hour or two. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep going for like another hour. I don't know yet, but I just wanted to stream a little bit at least to showcase while I'm working, because I was gonna at least start Network Plus to like set up everything. So, but I probably won't be on tonight. I don't think I'm gonna start this though. I just wanted to set everything up so that way I can hit the ground running. What I want to do is I want to get my website going, bro. Whoops, which one? This one. I want to make a website, fam. I want to make a website with All right, let's actually do that. So did I finish this? No. I did. Actually. Okay. Let me just X that. Let me do. I want to do a what is it called? What is it called? Hugo site. This is what I want to do. I think I already installed Hugo. It should be Hugo dash version, no? Dash version? No, it's just... What is it? Dash version? It should be dash version. No, it's just... It's literally just Hugo version. Hugo version. think I installed it with Brew. Homebrew. Oops. Where's H? Hugo, yeah. Quick start. Learn how to create a Hugo website or a Hugo site in minutes. In this tutorial, create a site, add content, configure site, publish the site. That's it? That's the whole thing? Bro, this is quick and easy, unreal. Before you begin the tutorial, install Hugo, okay, install Git, okay. Create a site, commands. If you're a Windows, no, I'm not a Windows user because I'm not gay. Verify that you have installed Hugo or version 1.0.128. What version I've got it? Version 142. So I've got that. Run these commands to create a Hugo site with the Anki theme. I don't think I want any theme. Oh, okay, so this was the commands, this is explanation. Okay, so create the directory structure for a project in the quick start directory. Okay, new site, and then that would be the name of the site. Okay, so wherever I want to do, where do I want to do this in? In developer, and then in probably code. Yeah, probably in here. What is personal website? There's not even in here.
Today your life is going to change because you're going to start learning how to make websites in Hugo. So Hugo is basically the best of both worlds. It's written in Go, it's highly minimalistic, it's fast, it's sleek, but at the same time it's so extensible. You can add so much of what you want, customize it, and really do very unique things. So unique that you will have your clients saying, "I can't believe it's not a dynamic site." I've used Hugo off and on for years, but this year I really sat down and kind of figured it out. It clicked, and the goal of this video and the other videos I'll be doing on Hugo is to make it click for you. Hugo is a little bit, like, it's super easy to use, super easy to play around with and add stuff on, but when you first get started, it's a little confusing. And I'll explain why in a second, but we're gonna learn Hugo. That's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm gonna assume you're a smart boy. You know how to install a program. I'm not going to spend 5 minutes telling you how to install it. You know how to do it.
Luke Smith is the GOAT, by the way.
I expect that is. So install Hugo. And the tricky thing with Hugo, okay, is that it's hard to get started because it's like a chicken and the egg problem. In order to get a site, up and running, you need a theme in Hugo. Otherwise, nothing shows up. You need templates. You need a couple of these things. And in order to set those up, you kind of already have to know about Hugo. So it's like you can't really learn about it until you set things up. You can't set things up before you know about it. Anyway, so what I've done here is I've made basically a bare minimum theme. There are a couple other things in here, but the objective of this video is we're going to use the theme that I've created and I'm going to make you understand how to create your own theme. And mind you, this isn't a theme in terms of like color or anything like that. It's basically just templates for generating a website. And this is going to be a diving board for doing whatever you want. And I'm going to show you, this is going to be partially a showcase, partially me showing you how Hugo works on the back end. Because once you get going with it, I mean, creating a site is just creating markdown files. It's super easy. Like it's not even worth a video. So go to github.com/LukeSmithXYZ/Lugo, L-U-G-O, Luke and Hugo at the same time. And that is the little theme, the little template set that we're going to be using. I have actually directions here for setting it up if you don't know anything about Hugo. I'm going to assume you already have Hugo installed, but because I've talked long enough, you already have it on your computer. So to create a site, as I say here, all you have to do is say Hugo new site. Wow, very intuitive. And just give it any directory name. It doesn't matter. Let's say, I don't know, site new, or I don't know, I guess I say on the website new site, right? So that's going to output some text. We don't need to read that because we're watching the video, so that's unimportant. But I'm going to go into that new site, and you can go ahead and type ls to see what it generates. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a good idea about maybe more than half of what all these things are. Config, you can probably already guess, that is the configuration file for your site. Okay, so you can go in there, you can go ahead and edit it. Let's say I want to change the title to Based Hugo Site. Doesn't matter what it is, right? You can set system settings there, like site-wide settings there. And themes, this is where we're going to want to put this theme so we can download it and actually like get a website going. So you can just copy this clone command if you so desire, but you can just clone this repository into themes Lugo. Okay, this is going to take 1 second, and you'll see in that themes directory we now have the Lugo theme installed. In order to activate that, we actually have to go back to that config file and say theme Lugo. Okay, so that is actually going to turn it on for our site. You could just run this echo command to echo it there, but whatever, your pick. And last but not least, we are going to want to go ahead and copy the example CSS file from the theme to the website. Now, the website is already going to be using all the files in the theme, but you're going to want to customize that stuff, including the CSS, so you might as well copy it to this directory. Okay, and that actually, we copied it, so let's actually look at our directories again. We haven't even started playing with the site, but you should already know what some things are. Config is a config file. Themes is where you put themes, and we basically don't need to touch it anymore. It's done with. Static is where you put all the files that are not like web pages, okay? So the two directories you're going to be using for making websites the most are probably content and static. Now, content is basically where you put markdown files. We're going to create those in just a second, but what Hugo is going to do is it's going to take those markdown files, which represent every page on your website. You're going to have one page for all the pages you want, and Hugo is going to generate HTML from that, and it's going to create a new web directory from that, right? And it's also going to take the additional stuff. So content is just for markdown files and other things you're, hypothetically, if you have other things Hugo is acting on. But all static files obviously are going in the static directory. So that includes the CSS file that we've just moved over. If you want to add images in there, you're going to put images in there, right? Or, you know, documents you want people to download, or anything else, right? So we know what content is, we know what static is, we know what themes are, we know what config is. Now public is an empty directory. And how this works is if you just run Hugo in your site, you're going to get the, basically Hugo just, if you run the Hugo command with no options in a website, it is going to generate that site and it's going to put it into the public directory. Okay. So you can actually go in, we can actually open up, you know, see our index file here, our index HTML. Actually, we can open this, right? Now it's not, oh, I should say it's not gonna, it's gonna be as if you're exporting it to a website, so it's not gonna appear how it should. But thankfully, Hugo has this nice little command, right? This very nice feature. I'm gonna open up another terminal. If you run Hugo serve, or server, it's actually not picky about the spelling. Hugo has a real-time generating example of your website. So here's what it looks like. You see it's entitled Based Hugo Site because we changed it in config, right? But this Hugo server command, what it does is as you change if you add stuff to static or config, or you add pages, or you change other variables, it will change this as well. So I can say my homepage, or maybe, my website, because it's really the website title. And that will actually edit the site. So that's what this Hugo server command does. And as you're configuring a site, you're basically always going to have this running in the background. It's very lightweight. It just checks to see if there's a file updated, and it updates everything. So this is what our website is going to look like now. But just to be clear, when you're done editing it and you want to put it on a server, you just run Hugo, and that goes to the public directory, and then you upload that public directory to your server, or do whatever you want. Okay, so that's super basics. So I'm going to run the Hugo server command, and I will say I usually run it. I have an alias, actually. I want to say HSS, right? I usually run Hugo with this extra option, the Hugo server command, with this extra option called no HTTP cache. And that's just because when you're updating files very quickly, by default, Hugo will keep a cache of it. So if you update a file, it might not actually update in your preview, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm just going to run it with that. Now I'm going to put that on another workspace, and we're just going to start editing this website and do some stuff with it. Okay, so as we said before, there is the Hugo new site command, which creates a new website, but you can also just create a new file. Okay, so we can say let's say about.md. Okay, so what that does is it creates a file in content called about.md, and we can open that up at about.md. And so this is a markdown file. This is how all the pages on your website, the content pages, are going to be generated, right? So here is some content, and of course this is markdown. This is all in markdown, which is much easier to modify than HTML, of course. So you can have a list item, you can have more lists, you can have dictionary with dictionary definitions. You can have numbered lists, blah 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 blah, right? So once you have your file and you save it, you'll also want to get rid of this. You can either replace draft true with draft false, or you can just get rid of the line. And you'll see that it will pop up. You will see your page has popped up on our web page, and we can click on that, and we can see, look at that, we have all the website content that we want. So I will note, just go ahead and, you've probably noticed on these pages already, I do have some extra stuff here. I have a little link to the RSS feed, which is, mind you, automatically generated by Hugo, and I'll show you the file that does that later on, but it automatically generates an RSS feed for everything on your website. And additionally, in the footer, it puts the URL of your website. Now, of course, it's appearing as localhost, but if you actually put it on a website, if you compiled it, it'll have your website URL. But of course, even aside from that, I'm going to show you how to change the footer and all that kind of stuff. I'm just telling you to notice things. But the important thing is we can create any content we want in Markdown files. And of course, you can also do things like tags. So let's say we want to tag this with, it's an update, so I'm going to tag it with updates, and we're going to say, I don't know, personal, I don't know, whatever. You can tag it with many different things. And notice also when we tag articles in Hugo, using the theme that I've provided to you, and again, I'll show you how it does this in a second, it actually gives you a list of all the tags at the bottom. And if you click on them, you will see, actually sometimes it takes some time. Actually, let me refresh this. It has some trouble when you first create tag files. I don't know why. But if you click on one of these, it is going to create this tags, basically a file for the tag itself. Now let me explain, let's make some more pages just so we can see exactly what that's doing. So let's make a new page called autobiography.md, and so I am going to edit that it's in the content directory, right? So we're gonna say it's not a draft, and we're gonna say this is my auto bio, and I'm also gonna tag this with personal. Okay, personal. It goes without saying that you can see that the tags are they got quotation marks, and they're in a set? What would you call that? It depends on the language, I guess. So either way, we can see now that if we click on personal, this is really a tag page that is listing out every article that is tagged with that. Okay, and this is something that Hugo does automatically. This is one of the nice little things about Hugo. So that's what it does automatically. And you'll also see this other thing. So I said my Hugo theme will automatically put this stuff down here. And of course you can style it to make it look pretty yourself. But additionally, it will create next and previous article links. So if you have a blog that's putting out more articles as days go on, you can have links that go directly to the previous ones. Okay, so one more thing I want to show you before we do some really fancy stuff. You'll also see, so we know, let's look at these directories again. So we know the config file. We know themes go there. We know static is for like CSS, like basically all the files that aren't markdown, and the markdown files go in content. Let's talk about archetype. Oh, and public is where you export the site to. Archetypes, let's open that up. And if you look in there, you'll see a file that looks like this. Now, this default.md, this is if you use Hugo New, this is the template for what it creates. So let's say hypothetically, I don't want it to create new articles and make them drafts. I can just get rid of this line, right? That's no problem. And notice also, this is actually the first time you're looking at like Hugo's special functions. Here in title, it has a function that is basically taking the name of the file and replacing the hyphens in the file name with spaces, and then running it through this title command, which actually just smartly guesses what should be capitalized or not. That's all that does. So whenever we run, let's run that again. Now note I changed that. I got rid of the draft thing. And I'm actually going to go to the main page here. Let's go to the home page. So now I've changed that, and let's make a new page, Hugo new blog post .md. Okay, so let's look once again at the page that has now been created in content, and you'll see firstly, again, Hugo smartly guessed the title name based on the file name. If it didn't guess right, you can change it, but it puts spaces in there and it capitalizes stuff. And in this case, it didn't have draft, so it actually automatically appeared in here once it was created, and we can say, here is my new blog post. Okay? So, and that's basically how it works, okay? That's how you create markdown files. So most of managing a Hugo site, okay, I will say, and in content, I'm putting everything in the directory itself, but you can also make subdirectories if you want. That's totally fine. If you feel like you want some special blog posts, and let's say we'll have content, and then we'll have blog, you can move, let's say, the new blog post to content blog, right? So you can move that in there, and that still works. And you see your page here actually generates this special post for the blogs directory, right? It all depends on how you want to like manage things, how you want things to display, and it all kind of depends on your personal preferences. But you can have subfolders to content, and you can have separate rules. Actually, let me show you what I do on my personal website right now. I don't know if I'll keep it like this, but this is just to give you an example. So I have, if you go to lukesmith.xyz/articles, this is where I have like long form, like essays and kind of, okay, well, I guess my internet isn't working. Let me go ahead and lukesmith.xyz/updates. Okay. So in the article pages, this is where I keep, it's basically a subdirectory in content. And this is where I keep long form essays. And that's in contraposition to the updates folder, where I keep kind of, oh, here's what I'm doing this week. Oh, I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to be doing this, stuff like that. I feel like they're separate, so I keep them in separate folders. Of course, they're also tagged differently as well. I also put, I tag all of these with the updates tag. Everything here, they'll have different tags or whatever. But those are the kind of things you can do with Hugo. So now that we understand, managing a Hugo site is mostly just, creating markdown files, and of course linking things as well. I should be clear. I'm assuming that you know how markdown works, but just to be clear about how links work, if I want to link, so this page is called About. suppose I want to link to it from this new blog post. If I want to link there, you know, see my about page, you just use a normal markdown link where this is going to be the text and the stuff in the parentheses is what it links to. You are going to want to say slash about. It's slash because it's just in the bare content directory. If it were in like content articles, it would be slash articles. And notice you don't include .md, you just include about. Right, so now let's go in here, and I moved some stuff around here, so I'll go here and you can say, click on the about page and bam, it goes to the about page, okay? So yeah, this, when you want to link things, yeah, just be sure, just remember that like to put the slash at the beginning, that's just a good form if they're in the root directory. Let's actually include an image, why not? So I'm gonna take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of the screen right now. So I've taken a picture with my screen command. What directory am I even in here? So, oh, okay, yeah. So new site. And then, as I said, we can put pictures in static. So I'm going to move this picture here. I'm going to call it pic.png. Okay. So now in this new blog, or we have about pulled up over here, so I'll put it here. So if we want to include an image, so I can say, I can just use normal markdown syntax for that. So this is like the alt text, so my image. And then we can say pic.png. That's what I named it, I'm pretty sure. And then look at that, there's my picture that I just took. That's how it appears. And just notice again, remember, it's in, the file is in the static directory. It's in the static directory in Hugo. But when Hugo compiles everything, it takes the static stuff and it takes the content stuff and it puts it all in the root directory. So, just to be clear, if you want to refer to something in static, you don't say static pic. Okay, that'll be an error. That's like, I don't see that. You say pic. All right, that's just a clarification. Okay, I'm going to interject a little something from the future that I forgot to mention. I don't know, it's a little obvious, but I forgot to say it. You can add content to your index file or any, like the index of any subdirectory you make by creating a file in the content directory that is _index.md. Okay, so I can add, I am adding stuff to my home page right now. Okay, so I can save that. Actually, I should probably not be stupid and actually put a title here. Title, my home page. Okay, so this is where basically you put the individual content for any kind of list file. So I kind of ignored the whole thing about, I talked about lists and singles, but I forgot to mention that, yeah, to like change any of these index files, to change your main page, you just edit _index. Or if you make some subdirectory where you have like articles or whatever, in there, if you go to articles, actually I don't know if Hugo's going to generate a file for that already. Yeah, I don't know if it does, unless you, yeah, maybe it doesn't. But hypothetically speaking, if you have an article subdirectory that has like other files in there as well that it would list out, you could also include an _index file to add specific content. So that is how, I mean, in my website, right? So this is what I have in my articles page. So like all this stuff here, this is like additionally added in the content. It's not naturally part of the list. And I could add in other things if I wanted, like other, yeah, whatever. That's all I had to say. That's just a clarification. Okay, so now we got that. That's all the basic stuff. Let's talk about how Hugo actually does this magic. Like, how does it generate all this stuff? How does it create all these tag pages? And how do I get these like and then you can work on stuff. So here again, here's our Hugo directory. I am actually going to go into the theme that we created. And you'll see our theme directory. We have archetypes, layouts, and static, which are present in our main repository. And just to be clear, just in case I didn't say this earlier in the video, when you have a theme, your website is going to look for the theme for the default files. But if your website, for example, you know, these files that we're going to look at just now, layouts, you know, default list, okay? If you create one of these in your own website's directory in the same place, it will overwrite this file. But if there's no file like that, it just looks at whatever the theme is doing, okay? So one important thing to understand about Hugo is that there are two. Now notice where I am. I'm in the theme here, and I went to layouts. This is the new directory we're going to learn about. And in layouts, the probably most fundamental one is the _default. Now in Hugo, you see there's a list file and there's a single file. And that's because there are two different types of pages in Hugo. There are singles and there are lists. So an example of a single is, my about page. All the pages that I just made, the about page, the little blog post, all of those, all that stuff that just goes, most of it just goes into content. Those are single pages. Okay, so it just has some stuff and it has some content, blah, blah, blah. Right? That is against, as opposed to that, we can look at, for example, this tag page at tags updates, which is automatically generated by Hugo. This is a list page. Now we can actually include other content in here as well, but by default it is just a list of all of the stuff that's at that location, or not really at that location. In this case it's like, whatever is marked with this tag. Or if we go to our home page technically is a list. So our home page by default is a list, and so are the tags, and whereas all the other posts, they are singles. So that's what these two files are. They are basically the let's look at, we'll move this to the other workspace. These are basically the templates for what lists and singles look like. Now, if we look at the single one, it's very simple. Basically, we just say we see some Hugo commands here, and we'll explain all of these. What partial is doing is calling a file that I have created in another directory. It's a partial in the home page by default is a list, and so our home page, whatever is marked with this tag. But by default, it is just a list. It just goes into content. Those are single pages. Okay, so it just has some stuff and it has some content, blah, blah, blah. Right? That is against, as opposed to that, we can look at, for example, this tag page at tags updates, which is automatically generated by Hugo. This is a list page. Now we can actually include other content in here as well, but by default it is just a list of all of the stuff that's at that location, or not really at that location. In this case it's like, whatever is marked with this tag. Or if we go to our home page technically is a list. So our home page by default is a list, and so are the tags, and whereas all the other posts, they are singles. So that's what these two files are. They are basically the let's look at, we'll move this to the other workspace. These are basically the templates for what lists and singles look like. Now, if we look at the single one, it's very simple. Basically, we just say we see some Hugo commands here, and we'll explain all of these. What partial is doing is list, rewrite it twice, or if I want to make a change, it's on. So for example, pages, they have all this kind of stuff. So .content, what that is going to do is it's going to take all the stuff that you put in Markdown, and it's going to print all of that in there. Or .title is going to header for template. Let's look at what this is doing. Okay, there's some other stuff going on here, and just let's actually bring back this so we know what's going on here. Now what this is doing, we're calling the header, let's put that template, let's group in different ways. I think by default it's by the date.
Which file is he editing?
You go, what this is doing,
HTML. Which one is the HTML?
Those things. Moving through, for any salsa, if I want to do that, those files to be exact, the single and direct template is because really I want the header in both of those files to be exactly the same. I don't want to have to rewrite it twice, or if I want to make a change to the header, I don't want to have a second. Same thing with footer. On a pair in the title, header would call page. Basically, what this generates is it generates this stuff here, right? These to get the, you'll see that. That's nice. Those on here just give this printed the stuff from these articles. What it's done now, in this case, we have very short articles, so it basically prints the whole thing. But if we had a longer article, it truncates that first portion of it, and it prints that there.
I like the Markdown thing, but I want more HTML pages, or at least I want one that's like. Oh, I suppose it. Okay, never mind. Yeah,
I just want your most recent, 10 blog posts with a summary. You can do that, and then you can have a little click more. You could go in here right now, and say like click more or click for more or something like that. So, you know, that's the kind of thing that you can do. All right, so that, let's see. I want to say is there something else I wanted to say in here? The only other thing in this directory is the RSS. So RSS is literally just the template for the RSS feed we have for this site. And it actually uses this range thing as well. It loops through all of the pages you see. And for each one, it creates, you know, an entry for that, taking the title and the permalink, all of these variables that each entry is going to have, right? So that's your first look at how you can script things in Hugo. But I want to show you a little bit more. Let me move this to another workspace here. So we've looked at default, and this is what you know, all your I don't know. I've already explained it, right? So there are singles, there are lists. Those are the templates for them. Now, suppose you don't like the main page, and this is actually what I do on my websites. I don't like lists like this on my main page. I kind of want to customize my main page.
Yes.
So one thing you can do is you can go into single here, and I'm going to copy it to the main layouts file, and I'm going to rename it index.html. And what that is going to do is it's just going to use, basically, I mean, we've taken the single thing. Okay, maybe I should explain that. If you have in the layouts directory an index.html file, that is going to take precedence. Instead of using the list format for your index, it's going to use whatever you put here.
Yes.
So if you don't like your index to be a list, you can put a file here and customize it. You could link it to the single list or whatever, and that's going to change your main page. Although it doesn't change your tags. So your tags still have a list of everything. Oh, I forgot to undelete the date here. Oh well, doesn't matter. Either way, so that's how that works. Let me talk about some of the other stuff. I'm actually going to get rid of this because I think it's more helpful to not have this and to have these
that's in
entries.
the what, the content or
I think it's more helpful to not have this and to have these entries for the tutorial. So let's talk about the other things, the other little flourishes I have. Now, as I said, we have two little things at the bottom here, in addition to our little footer down here that has the website name and whatever. You have a list of all the tags, and you also have these little things that say previous and next, right? So you can go to the previous blog entry in time or the next blog entry in time. So how are those done? Now, those are actually in the partials section, and I alluded to the partial thing before because we call this header and footer file. Let's go ahead and look at the header and footer files. So in the header, this is the stuff, remember, that both the list template and the single template call. And it has basically your sensible defaults, you know, the kind of stuff that basically every HTML page is going to have, with the added benefit of you being able to script some things in it. So, for example, if a page has tags, you can say, okay, check to see if tags are set. If there are tags set, add this line in that uses the tags and delimitates them by commas. But if you don't, you know, if this doesn't apply, if you don't have tags, this line just won't exist, okay? Same thing for the favicon. You can set a favicon variable in the config file, but if you don't, it's not going to include this line. So this is what a partial looks like, and you can also have scriptability here. So this thing here, the title, so if you notice the titles, let's go here. So in the about page, you'll see that the title is about, and then a bar, and then the website name. Okay, but if you go to the main website, you will see that it's just my website, just the website name. So that is because, well, it sets the title equal to the site website, but if the title is also not home, it adds in the specific page name with the bar in between and stuff like that. You can look at and figure it out if it's not obvious how this is working. But and see, we can also have other variables like the site language and stuff like that. All right, so that's our header. Now, our footer contains other basic stuff at the bottom, but importantly, you can also call on other partial things, and that is what the two things I mentioned a second ago, these, you know, next and previous and the list of tags are. So if we looked at the next and previous, next prev file, this is a good example of the kind of stuff that you can add to a Hugo site. So in this case, And again, I'm not telling you how to script all this. We're not doing this yet. I'm just like kind of piquing your interest, showing you like how you can do things. But in Hugo, there are some functions, some page functions called, if you look over here, well, we'll just search for it, called next and previous, which will sort by, which will give you the next page as if they were ordered. So for example, what this thing does is says, okay, if we have a next or previous page, we're going to create this div, and inside of it, you're going to have a link to the previous article and or a link to the next article, right? That's all this does. Now, if you're on a page that doesn't have either one of these, like on the main page, it doesn't print out anything. That's what the if statements are for. But in all these other pages, you do have like the previous and the next link. And of course, on this one, it doesn't have a previous because it's most early. It only has a next. And on this one, it's the most recent, so it doesn't have a next, you know? So that is all that does. And that is just, you know, this little file. Just this little file. That's all it is. And of course, you can style it to your own specifications. You know, I've already given them IDs that you can style, right? And at the same time, you have this thing called tag list. And that is the thing at the bottom that lists the tags here. Let's actually
I'm not gonna do it.
So we'll name that personal to loop stuff out. And also you'll note that it adds a dot between all of them. That's what all this other stuff is for, it or whatever. So it's a little more complicated just because you include that. But what the end result of this is, I'll go about some shortcodes. And we'll talk about shortcodes in another video, but I will just say they're very similar to partials. It's just really you call partials in templates, and shortcodes, which work similarly, you call them in files. Actually, I'll show you how one works. I'll show you how one works. Why not? We're doing a video already. I mean, so let's see. So I have one here called image. Okay, we can look at how this looks. So one thing you'll be doing in websites a lot is putting in images, and sometimes, you know, you want an image to have a caption, but to do that in HTML, you got to put it in a figure and then add a fig caption. Sometimes you want the image to be linked or have, you know, all this other stuff. It's kind of hard to put that in. So what this shortcode does is it basically automatically does a bunch of stuff for you. Okay, so let's actually take, I'm going to take, let's go back to, what was that page we put it? Image in already. I guess it was this one. Okay, so we can use Markdown to include a normal Markdown image, but we can do this in a different way. We can say basically this. We can say img, and then we're going to say source. This particular thing, it takes a couple of different, I want to say, I didn't list source here, but source is the image it takes, which is going to be in, where was it? PNG. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and close that off. That's how you make a shortcode look. Let's go to the About page. All right, so you see that here, but we can also add in stuff like captions and stuff. So we can say caption. This is a caption, right? Because this shortcode can process arguments like this. So now it has a caption at the bottom. And of course, you can style this in CSS to be in the center or something, which is a pretty sensible thing to do. And we can also, you know, put a link on it. So let's say I want the link to be to my own website. Okay, so we can do that. I'm pretty sure link is the right thing, yeah. So if I click on this, it is gonna pull up my, wow, look at that. And other things as well. I think even this shortcode has, you can set a title thing, which is really, I think you give it to it as mouse. So this is what appears if you mouse over the image. Okay. So if I mouse over it, you will see, oh look, this is what appears when you mouse over the image, right? So shortcodes are a way of kind of economizing, like instead of having to write out, where is it? I thought I had it pulled up just a second ago. Yeah, over here. Instead of having to write out figure, blah, 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 and deal with all these variables, you can kind of make a template and plug in arguments that you receive. And this is, like, I do this for a lot of other stuff, like on my website, library. So I have a page where I list out all the books I own, and like these entries are actually created using a kind of shortcode that also like automatically links to certain things, like if I have a podcast episode on it, And they actually, on the back end, they actually store other information like the, I don't know if you can see it here. Okay, yeah, you can see the Library of Congress stuff. Anyway, I'm going on now. You should have an idea how Hugo works. That's the important thing, or at least how to modify it. Remember, there are just two types of pages. There are singles and there are lists. You can modify them in the layouts over here. You can easily, you can add in, you can basically abbreviate your code writing by making partials and short codes and all that kind of stuff. And then when you're all done, you can of course compile just by running Hugo, and that is going to compile to the public directory, and you can upload that to your website or whatever. So honestly, that's about it for this video. In the next one, I want to actually take you through tangible examples. I showed you how some of these things work, like how do you get a nav bar working? How do you like script in some other stuff? You know, I've shown you that I have some partials that do stuff like this. But I think in the next video, I'll give you a tangible example of us making one together, okay? And then we'll talk about other stuff about Hugo. So hopefully this has given you, I don't know, something. Just get into it. It's
He's got his own thing here? What is this? Oh, by PeerTube. Oh, that's what PeerTube is. Is that what PeerTube is? Let me see. Alternative to big text video platforms by Framasoft. PeerTube is a tool for sharing videos online developed by Framasoft. Create your own video platform. Okay, so you just put this on your own website. Exists based off of donations, so it's open free something, license under CC by BYSA. I see that all the time. What is this? Creative Commons, copyright. You are free to share, adapt, attribution, things like that. Okay, whatever. We were looking at some licenses last time for the GNU licenses, and this is the Creative Commons licenses. Okay, so I gotta look into those as well. Okay, so PeerTube is pretty cool. That means he's probably self-hosting his things now on this, because it would be too much money probably to do cloud stuff. Dang, he's got a lot of videos up in this, whatever these things are. Anyway, whatever. Where was it? Here. Okay, what else he's got? I'm going to follow this thing. Hold on, let me look at this. Build your own platform. Probably do the starter website first. The basic course, follow these links, quick tutorials. Little as an hour. Get a domain name, get a server, connect your domain to a server, setting up Nginx web server, certbot, and HTTPS. Who does he recommend for this stuff? Domain name, website is type in Nginx bar, blah blah blah. Okay, extension TLD is .com. Okay, register is a service authorized to reserve a domain name for you. When domain names first sell, they usually sell for very cheap, but once someone buys one, they have the rights to it until they decide to sell it, often for much more money. Therefore, it's a good idea to reserve the domain name ASAP, even if you don't intend on doing anything big with it. Who does he do? Domains can be registered any accredited registrar, and there are a lot to choose from. Some major names are HostGator, Bluehost, Namecheap, or DreamHost. There's also sites that are more private, like Nyala and Cheap. I know Nyala. I know these guys. They're a registrar as well. Considered the world's most notorious privacy as a service provider for domains, VPS, and VPNs. Oh, they do domains? We're extremely normal. Make privacy extremely normalized. We're famously the most trusted privacy provider in the world. Any track record to prove it. Oh, they accept Monero and Zcash. Domains. cheap privacy. Let me look at these guys. That are you Russian? These guys is Russian? Nah, fam. Yeah. They don't even resolve their site, bro. I don't even know what TLD I want to use. Bro, nothing can load. Okay, there are more private which register a domain for you under their name, but still allow you to access it. Oh no, I don't like that. Forget about it. Normally, all websites must be registered with the ICANN with a real name and address, but these sites allow you to bypass that. Choosing a registrar is not permanent, and you can transfer domains to a different registrar if you get a better deal later, and so in most cases you can just choose one, and let's head on. I was thinking about Cloudflare. I was getting a lot of recommendations for this one when I was doing some research that a lot of people like this. Products, search domain names. Premium domains are now available. Securely register, transfer, consolidate, manage your domain portfolios without add-on fees or inflated renewal costs. This is what I was looking for. This website's new because I was just looking at this last week and this was a little bit different. I was looking for the Whois privacy protection. Cloudflare provides free Whois redaction to safeguard your personal contact detail. That's what I want. Complying with safeguard ICANN guidelines. What did I say? Safeguard? Complying with ICANN guidelines. That's what I wanted. Enhanced security, free one-click DNSSEC activation, no upsells or hidden clues, at cost pricing. I like this. But you're gonna charge an arm and a leg, even though it says at cost. But .org, .com. Oh, .com is taken though. But if I could get .com, that would be clean. But unfortunately, it's taken. Who's got it? What is this? This guy's squatting on this site, bro. He's squatting on it. He's a squatter. Complete garbage squatter. I used to use this one. 24 bucks. Hey, what is that per year? That's the yearly cost, right? I need something cheap. I saw someone use this .space, .xyz. XYZ is kind of cheap. I see people be using that sometimes. I saw someone use this space, but I don't really get it. Adam Furman .space. That doesn't even make sense. I wanted to do US because it was cheap, and I was like, yes, US supremacy. But they there's I was looking into the policy. What is it called now? Policies. Yeah, I guess policy. .us TLD. If you go to their about.us, get your US domain. One of their requirements is that you are not allowed to use Whois privacy protection, which is so dumb. And you have to register it, and so they check also that you're registered in that you actually are someone that lives in the US or a company registered in the US, so they get your information in that sense. So they're out of the question. That tech is 40 bucks. See, this is kind of clean, but it's got the dash, so that's gay. What is even a holub? Who is holub? Holub? What even in the world is that? .info, .icu, .construction, .live, .biz, .space, .work, .cc. Are there more options? Give me more. Give me more. Extensive. Supports over 380 TLDs. View the full list. Show me the full list on the search though. Just add more here. I want to see more. By relevance, price, low to high. Give me full list. Low to high. XYZ. I don't really like that. I was thinking .sh. I kind of like that because that's like a like shell script. 45 bucks? No way. .me? I don't like that at all. .xyz, .cc, .site? 25 bucks? Bro, what is up with these? .io, 45 bucks? .org, .cc, .com? I would use .com, but it's taken some squatters squatting on it. .me, .biz, .info, .website, .live, .site. What is Namecheap ranges? What are those price ranges looking at? This is what I used to use. Auctions. People are auctioning off their things. Handshake. What is Handshake protocol? Handshake. Handshake domains are new TLDs. Distribute decentralized blockchain. Oh yeah, that's right. That's that thing. Generator beast. I don't know what that is. Domains. XYZ. $2 a year, bro. This is way cheaper than Cloudflare. Yeah, most of these are cheaper. But it that's because these are all like on sale or something. They just want you to buy it and then they're gonna gyp you when they raise the prices. What do I wanting? What do I wanting? Am I gonna have to do an XYZ? I don't like that. Explore 400 plus additional things. These are the popular ones. .pro, .live, .art, .tech, .online, .store, .cfd, .sbs. What even is that? .cu, .is, .cc, .so, .ac. Notion uses so. Adam Furman .name? What? Professional maybe? Accountants, attorney, beauty, broker, career, CEO, coach, consulting. .dev? No. .engineering, .engineer, .expert. Yes, I'm an expert. .guru. I'm a guru. .guru. .law. .lawyer. If I was a lawyer, I'd use .lawyer. .legal. .sec. What about sec for security? Do they have .sec? Is that even a thing? .sec. Is that a thing? AdamFurman.com. Taken. Info. New customers might get a mighty.com domain for make offer. I want to make an offer for this guy. Requires minimum of 200. That's worth it if I had a job. I would buy it. I would for sure offer to buy it if I had money. Security. Domain privacy. That's what I'm looking for. Free WHOIS protection and private domain. Free lifetime protection for your domain. That's what I want. What did I used to have .co, I think it was. My old site. I don't even remember what it looked like. Oh yeah, I'm starting to remember. Oh, it was so ass. New TLDs. What do they got? .ad, .locker, .my, .bet, .bot, and Adam.bot. You're a bot, kid. .meme, .now, .deal. That's it. I want to see all of them. All of them. Domains, TLDs, TLD list. Show all TLDs. .ai, .ca, .dev, .me, .co, .de is for Germany. .gg for Guernsey. .is Guernsey. Some of them you can get your good game on. That's for like gamers or something. Tonga, PHNLID, Indonesia, Inc. .website, .xyz, .club, .online, .info. Dang, I don't even know what to use. .pro, .tv, .cx, .mx. Dot space. Make it your space. That's it? That's all they have? It said like 400 plus. Oh, now it's showing a whole bunch of now it's showing the handshake ones. All. Oh, because they're combining these handshake things. What about this? What about... Show me, where's the full list of TLDs? I want to try Cloudflare just because they're probably the fastest resolver. Home? Yeah, home. It's not even taking me home. Home extensions. Oh, this TLDs. Why is it called extensions? TLD. AC, Academy, Accountant, Accountants, Actor, Adult, Agency, AI, Air Force, Apartments, App, Army, Associates, Attorney. What do I want? Bid, .bet, .biz, .black, .blog, .blue, .boo, .builders, .boston. .com.ai, .com.co. Why do you have a double one, double whammy? Wait, go to well, let me just keep looking at these. .email, .engineer, .domains, fail, faith, family, fan, fans, farm, fashion, FM, foo, football, fun, .fyi. Probably .sec for security. .porn, what? Nah, get that out of here. Ban that. .rip. That's kind of cool, RIP. .rest, .rent, .rentals, .red. .sale, .run. .sex, what? .security. They got the full thing, .security, but that's too long. It's gotta be .sec, .sh. .site, .soy, .space, .soy. Oh, no way. Bruh, I don't know what. The XYZ, .wtf. .tech, .space, .social, .software, .site, .sh. I kind of wanted to do sh, but I don't know. I just want something that's gonna be cheaper, that's not like a gay. .store, .supply, .software, .site. Adam Furman, .site. Nah, it's gonna be short. I don't know. But I gotta go, so that's enough for today. I won't figure this out. I'll have to think about this. Dang. Okay, so that's it. All right, bet. Well, okay, I guess I'm not doing any of this today. Alright, that's all for today.